Yeah, as you said, they're a talented squad, a good manager. I still think they've had a positive season in terms of what they're trying to build. They've got some real talent, particularly in that attacking third. They obviously got hit by injuries as well. They've got some key players who have been missing, which affects all clubs, and that affected their consistency of results. But as you said, at their place, they're still a tough team to beat, so a good challenge for us.
You mentioned.
Yeah, no, it's been a good sort of international break. A bit unusual not having a game on the weekend, which kind of worked well for us because the majority of our international players played, so we were able to give them a sort of couple of days to recover post their internationals instead of just flying straight back, which I think was good for them. The guys here worked really hard, but again, we could give them some time off within that context. And the whole sort of group got together at the beginning of the week, and I think they're all in a good place mentally and physically. I think it was positive in that guys who probably needed to play some football did so. Guys who maybe needed a bit of a breather also got that opportunity.
And during the international break, Richard Pochettino has been talking again about wanting to manage Spurs one day in the future. I just wonder what you made of him going public with that at a time when you're under a bit of pressure here, and also you're going into a defining part of the season.
Maurizio, if he wants to come back one day, I hope it happens for him. I mean, we all have dreams and aspirations if that's what he wants, and that's. I don't think he was. I mean, you're suggesting that he's trying to put pressure on me.
Well, the timing of it felt to me a bit disrespectful to you. That was all.
Well, I don't feel disrespected. I think if you ask Maurizio that question directly, I think you'd get a pretty clear answer as to what his intent was. But again, nothing for me to sort of be consumed with. More focused on sort of making sure we try and win tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Quarter final.
Yeah, I just don't think you can get caught up with that. Our job, our role is, and our responsibility is to try and put in a strong performance tomorrow to win. That's it. You can't get consumed by, too many things that really are out of your control. They're out of our control, how other people feel. What we can do is, like I said, perform against a tough opponent tomorrow and try and gain some momentum leading into an important part of the season for us. So that's where kind of our focus and the players' focus has been.
I guess with tomorrow, is it a good dress rehearsal for Frankfurt in 2 weeks? Because it's a difficult away game. It's going to be loud. Players are going to be under pressure, and it's a chance to come through that. And they'll obviously have to do the same in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit different because, I think European competition and sort of knockout competition, it tends to be a little bit more cagey. But like you said, there's some elements there of playing away from home, against a sort of loud fan base and against a quality opponent where, certainly, if we can come through that test, then that gives you confidence about what's ahead.
And I guess just finally, from your own point of view, James asked about Pochettino's quotes. There's been a lot of talk about your own future during the last 2.5 weeks. How do you kind of deal with that as a manager and as a human being, knowing that kind of cycle is being spoken about?
I don't deal with it, mate. I mean, like I said, I know what my responsibilities are. I'm sure if the club decide to go in a different direction, there's some outstanding candidates out there for it. So, and you know what? Maybe somebody will think, Ange Postecoglou's not a bad coach. Maybe we'll take a punt on him. So, mate, it doesn't rock my world. It doesn't consume me. I'm here. I'm passionate about what we're doing. I was brought in to change the way the club plays, rejuvenate the squad, bring success. I'm focused on that, and that's what I'll keep doing. Try and separate what you just said there. We're not talking about the fans. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the next challenge, which is obviously Chelsea, and we understand the significance of the fixture. We understand, as I said, they're a good side. They're particularly at home. They're a tough team to beat. So we're going to have to perform at our best to overcome them. But it's a great challenge for us. As I said, we We need to sort of try and build some momentum into the rest of the season and finish in a positive way. And going to Chelsea, we know we're going to have to play well to beat them.